Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. I hope y'all had a wonderful weekend. It's Ashley, Associate Pediatric Emergency Mom. I wanted to do kind of a mixture of topics today, including screen time for kids, proper eating habits, offer a question section. Hey, Melissa, I need to come see you soon. Offer a question section and then just talk about convenience. So screen time. Let's do that first. In the ER, we've seen more and more behavioral health problems in kids, and frustrated parents. They don't know what to do. How did they get to this point? How can they get their child to listen more? And it's really incredible, from an outsider's perspective, and we don't often see it when we're day to day dealing with our kids. A lot of the times, if I say, well, how much screen time does your child get during the school week? So they get home, they finish their homework. How much screen time do they get? The answers that I get are pretty shocking. What I should get is no screen time during the school week or an hour max. What I'm getting is hours of screen time. And so the AAP recommends if you're less than 2, they actually recommend no screen time at all unless you're FaceTiming with a relative. We are all busy parents, grandparents, caregivers. Sometimes that's not realistic, right? You'll have to hand your kid the phone or the pad, something just so you can get work done or have a quiet dinner, whatever. But what you're handing them should be something educational, something meaningful. An easy thing is just anything PBS Kids, right? Anything PBS is educational. Except I'm not a Caillou fan. Is he PBS? I think he is. I don't know. We've never watched him. I don't want my kids to watch him. That's a whole nother discussion. When you give them the phone or the iPad or whatever, also make sure that brightness is all the way down, or as low as possible, because we don't want that background blue light damaging their vision. Okay, so the older kids, so two to five, it says 1 hour, max 1 hour a day, but it should be educational and meaningful. And then older than that, it might allow for a little bit more, but really, guys, during the school week, it should be a treat. It should be something they earn. Oh, you had a good day at school and you helped me with your chores and you helped your brother and you and your brother didn't fight. Now you see what happens in my house. Then you'll earn a movie party. And so we'll pick something. They have to agree on it. We'll pick something. We'll watch it. And so we try to push things again, like PBS Kids, Wild Kratts, for example. They love Wild Kratts. Hey, Elizabeth, good morning. And just it's small amounts. As far as video games, especially during the school week, this should really be limited. Very, very, very small amounts. So if Jibby's interested in video games, Henry is not. If they have a great day at school, maybe I'll allow him 15 minutes of a video game, but no more than that. And he knows that. And you guys, what we see sometimes is, they come home, they do homework, and then they play video games from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. This is not what should happen. It has downward implications for social functioning, for concentration, for so many things. And so we really need to limit the screen time that they get. And like the educational things, they really are learning and picking up on things. And sometimes like the most random knowledge, like not too long ago, Henry asked me if the dodo bird was still alive, where would they live? And I'm like about to ask Alexa where the dodo bird would live. And Jibby pipes up, on the island of Mauritius. And I looked at him and I looked at my husband and looked at him again. He said, I'm right, Mom. I didn't even know how to spell Mauritius, so it took me a while to figure that out. But this is what they're learning when they're watching educational things. So diet and bowel habits. We've talked about constipation before. And it's funny, one of our GI docs said, can you talk more about constipation? Because I need my patients to see it. Sure. So let's talk about poop again. when we're all busy, the kids are doing their own thing. And so sometimes they're older, they're going on their own. We don't keep track of their bowel habits. We assume that they're going, but maybe they aren't. And so just having those conversations often, hey, did you poop today? What was the poop like? Was it hard poops? Was it normal poops? Was it soft? It may seem weird to talk about for some people. We talk about it all the time in my house. So we're okay on our front. What are they eating day to day? If your kids are like my kids, if they don't bring their lunch, they come home from school. What did you eat today? I don't remember. Okay. What was on your plate? I don't remember. Okay. We have the calendar of the menus from school. Even sometimes those are changed. So it's hard to know what they're eating during the day, but you can probably control what they're eating in the morning unless they eat breakfast at school. You can definitely control what they're eating in the evening. And so really try to push for nutritious things, juice, sodas, these are really void of nutrition. Juices, even if it says 100% natural, no additional sugar added, you guys, juice is all sugar. That's it. It's just sugar. Unless you're going to like Whole Foods, or here we have Big Squeezy, and getting like juiced juices that truly has no sugar added. The juices that we buy are just not that great for kids. You can buy there are a few different kinds that are maybe a little bit healthier, but they should be treats. They should not be a staple of the diet. Water. Milk, if your child likes milk, in some in moderation, right? So once they get beyond the baby infant stages, they shouldn't be having more than 8 to 12, 16 ounces of milk a day. Even 16 is probably way too much. So just a little milk to get that vitamin D. And if they need extra calcium, they don't like milk, you can get the calcium fortified orange juice. That's always good. So when I say diet and what kids eat, if your child is saying, and I've touched on this before, if your child is saying often, my belly hurts, you have to pick them up from school, they can't go to school, you need to take a deep dive first into what are they eating and look back over the last few days. What did you eat? So instead of your brain going straight to, oh, is it appendicitis? Is it, something else terrible? I will tell you that the vast majority of kids that come to us for belly pain either have constipation, gas pain secondary to constipation, or gastritis, so kind of increased acid buildup and irritation of their stomach from the eating patterns that they have. Processed foods, chips, spicy Cheetos, flaming hot Cheetos, Takis, hot fries, all of those things, like well documented scientific data, increased rates of GI problems and gastritis and reflux from eating these foods. And so prolonged gastritis and reflux can lead to peptic ulcer disease. So then you have little kids with stomach ulcers. Like, that's awful, right? So can they have it? Yeah, as a treat every now and then, but not as a staple in the diet. It's kind of a joke for me when I'm working with a resident and they go to see a kid with belly pain. And the first thing I'll ask them is, I'll ask the resident, well, what did they eat for supper last night? And what did they eat this morning? And usually the residents that have worked with me a lot now know to ask, but a lot of them say, well, I didn't ask that question. And I say, go back and ask, because I am willing to bet if you're in Louisiana, it's Cane's for supper or pizza. And then for breakfast, it's a donut or a sugary cereal. And it is unbelievable how often it's one of those things. And so again, having it as a treat, great. Having it as a staple of your diet is a huge problem. It changes your good gut flora. So the good bacteria that lives in your gut, your gut like any other part of your body, should have a balance of kind of the good and the bad, and there's bacteria that helps break down the food. And so if you're eating that junk all the time, and no offense to Cane's, it's delicious. I love it in moderation. But if you're eating that all the time, it's really going to wreck your stomach. And so taking a deep dive with parents into what kids are eating, and it's hard because we are all busy and we lose track, and then you're thinking like, oh my God, when's the last time you ate a piece of fruit, right? So trying to keep track of what they're eating, trying to keep them with a balanced diet, and keeping track of their bowel habits. I want to touch on convenience, things that make our lives more convenient. And this is where I want some audience participation, like comment below, message me, I don't care. I want to share the things that make my life a little bit easier. And then I want to know what makes your lives a little bit easier, because I'm looking for more tricks day to day. If you are fortunate to live in an area where you can get grocery delivery or curbside pickup, that is huge. To not have to bring your kids into a grocery store. Wow. So if you can order what you need, have it delivered to the house at a certain time, or know you can go pick it up right before you get the kids from school, that has been a game changer for me. I haven't done like the curbside pickup at Walmart, but we do Shipt, which is an annual fee, and people shop for your groceries and bring them within the time period you designate. And we're kind of creatures of habit. We usually eat the same things. And so it does have an option to keep ordering, like, you ordered this before, do you want it again? So it makes things a little bit easier. I lose track of what I have to do, and I have lists everywhere. And so I got an app. I use Wunderlist, I think is what it's called. But it's a to-do app. And so you can put everything you need to do for the day and divide it out, like for the kids, for the house, whatever. And every time you finish a task and you click it, it makes this really delightful, like, ding. So it makes you feel good. Like, yes, I did something good. When shopping, or having someone else shop for you, pre-packaged, pre-cut frozen vegetables are a game changer, right? I use this all the time. The freezer is always stocked with various frozen vegetables. You can even do fresh frozen fruit. So I'm not talking about the sugar added sweetened kind of fruit, but just regular cut fruit. Or even if you take a day and cut a bunch of fruit up and freeze it on your own, that's huge. And slow cooker meals, right? That's easy. Throw it together in the morning. It's ready by the evening. So just those kind of things have made my life a little bit easier. So I would be interested to see if you guys have any kind of tricks. I would love to know those. Aside from that, I just would like to hear people's opinions on anything. And then I said questions. So people have asked for me to do different topics, and it's been a lot of requests. And like last week, I did a lot of shifts, and so it's hard to keep up. So if you have questions on a specific topic, you can post them below, and I'm happy to try to answer your questions. Again, this is just my opinion. It does not take the place of your regular doctor. And I think that's it. I feel like I'm rambling now. I hope y'all have a wonderful Monday, and can't wait to hear from y'all.